Thank you very much indeed, Robin. And yeah, Phil Hope does send his apologies. He would like to be here, but he was recently appointed to the position of Minister of Care Services at the Department of Health, as well as his regional role. And it's a commitment he has in that capacity that's keeping him from being here today. But my opening remarks are going to look at the sort of wider context which we're currently in, the national and regional response to the economic challenges, and highlight the importance of partners working together, both within the region and the nation, and indeed internationally as well. Let me just say a quick word about the arrangements of regional ministers. We've had regional ministers in this country only since July 2007, and their role was enhanced only last month by the appointment of the deputies or assistant ministers, such as myself. In essence, the regional ministers are there to work with colleagues from all sectors to get behind the headlines, look into the details of problems facing our region, and to help to seek and deliver solutions. They're a single point of reference for cross-departmental access to government from the major players within the region. Secondly, they're government champions. They speak at key regional events to promote national policies, using these events to explore how the region can draw on its own experience to offer solutions back to Whitehall departments. And thirdly, they're regional champions, working with colleagues within Whitehall to champion the needs of their region, ensuring that the region's voice is heard, and while celebrating the region's individuality and its successes. They also bring a degree of accountability to the work of the East Midlands Development Agency and the Government Office of East Midlands. Now, following discussions with partners in the region, Phil Hope has established 5 priority areas for our work. The first is clearly the economy and jobs, tackling the disparity between different parts of the region and between the East Midlands and other regions. On the skills agenda, the region needs to increase the supply of high-level skills to meet potential demand for the future, to secure strong employer engagement and break the habit of low skills and low wages. That's not the sort of economy that we want to have in this region. Housing and growth is the third region, encouraging sustainable growth of communities and housing, especially in the field of affordable housing, alongside the relevant infrastructure required to support it. On adult social exclusion, Bill's desire is to improve education and other outcomes for key clients, such as people with learning disabilities or mental health problems, ex-offenders and those needing care. And finally, improving public services, making services more responsive to users' needs, ensuring the delivery of the 9 local area agreements across the region, and helping to tackle issues that require collaboration across administrative boundaries, both within the East Midlands and beyond. In all of these, Phil and I work in close partnership with the public, private and third sector agencies to deliver the results. Phil has established regional sounding boards on both adult social exclusion and affordable housing. The groups bring together practitioners, commissioners and policy experts at the regional level to identify best practice, provide better coordination of activities and improve the sharing of good practice and data. These groups are at an early stage as yet, but progress will be reported through regional events in the new year. Phil championed a major public sector skills challenge event in Leicester a while ago. There he addressed local authorities, government departments and agencies, colleges, higher education institutions and the Regional Learning and Skills Council. And at that event he challenged the region to commit themselves to the skills pledge. And I repeated that process with many private sector partners at an event in Mansfield last month. And Phil launched, jointly with the Treasury and Business and Enterprise Ministers and the East Midlands Development Agency, our initial regional response to the economic downturn. That document is available on the ENDA website. It provides a starting point for understanding the business support services that are available in this region. My role is to enhance that of the regional minister by more or less doubling the time that is spent discharging our regional ministerial obligations. I deputise the pillars required, work with our counterparts in other regions to ensure consistency of approach, whilst defending the flexibility that the roles have been given in each region. I will in due course be assuming some strategic role also. Let me say a bit about the new economic structures that have been established now within government. The first of those is the National Economic Council. This is a full cabinet committee meeting regularly and chaired by the Prime Minister. It provides a new approach to coordinating economic policies across government. It will work to help families and businesses deal with the current economic uncertainties, which have been generated by higher food and energy prices and, of course, the restriction on the availability of credit. It will work with international partners in managing the world's scarce natural resources. It will be a forum on how to equip the country for the future by making the right long-term investments in education, skills, science and infrastructure. The Regional Economic Council will bring together the regional ministers together with the Regional Development Agency chairs. Of course, the local chair of the East Midlands Development Agency is Brian Jackson, formerly of Clarissa, and now chair of ENDA, and the chair of chairs, who chairs the body representing the development agencies nationwide. They meet along with representatives of business and trade unions, meeting quarterly. It's chaired by the Chancellor and Lord Mandleton together, and will ensure that policy development is informed by robust intelligence from our region feeding directly into that process. Meeting more frequently and feeding information and intelligence to the Regional Economic Council is the Council of Regional Ministers. These are all different names, by the way, listen carefully. This includes Bill Hope and the other 8 regional ministers, plus ministers from the Cabinet Office and the Treasury, and sometimes assistant ministers also. And the role of this body is to ensure that the work of key regional public sector bodies is properly coordinated to address the short-term challenges and the longer-term opportunities that may exist, and also to act as a conduit for key information both to and from Whitehall, in particular to allow regional ministers to feed back to the centre the information, intelligence and policy ideas generated within each region. I think that the role of regional ministers is going to prove more important than ever as we enter these difficult economic times. That role will continue to develop. For example, each regional minister has convened a regional economic cabinet, using regional figures to help coordinate the regional